A little introductory training video on the system here. This key is to log out. This button goes to the boiler screen, the rooftop number 7 screen. This is for your energy. And this is the rooftop. This button gives you the overall, takes a couple minutes to load for some reason. Well, go back to the boiler. So this is grouped into sort of equipment. There's the firing signal. The boiler is has a percentage. It's not just on or off. It can go to 70%, 100%, different rates. Here is the temperature and humidity of outside, and then presently all the boilers are off. The lobby fan coil pump is on. This is an option that we provided that was not purchased yet, so we don't have any more data on the pool. Supply water and return water, and the set point. This is to control the return water of the pool. And then we also have a high limit, because what we're doing for efficiency is whenever the domestic hot water calls for hot water for the showers, if the boilers are running, it'll also put some water into the pool. That allows us to disperse more of the heat out of the boilers and help them condense. And so there's different temperatures here. What happens is when the domestic calls for heat, it's going to go to this setting here on one boiler, 100%. And when the pool calls for heat, it's going to go to this firing rate here. And those are adjustable. Anything that's green is adjustable. So, and then in addition, sorry, I gotta silence that. There are these performance logs. So, and you have the days you can select. So if you want to see the last 7 days or the last day, you can see here the supply and return temperatures. And then down here tells you when the pump turned on and when it turned off. So it ran for from I'm not really sure why it's not coming up, but you can see here is the temperature is 80 degrees return water, and then the pump ran for a little bit and put some water, hot water into it. So yeah, I would say it probably turned on probably at 10 until 2. I'll have to figure out why this isn't synchronized. And then you can change the colors. So if you want the pool temperature to be a different color, or the supply temperature to be a different color, you can do that here. It stands out better, can do that. Can look at 7 days, 30. This is when we were doing construction. Well, this was before we did the switch over. Yes, I'd like to save my changes. Also, same thing with the domestic. If you want to have a look at your water temperature in the tank or out to the fixtures, there's some different temperatures here. Water heater 1, water heater 2, pump command, pump status, and fixture temperature. And you can do the same thing. You can look at 7 days worth of data, 1 day worth of data. There's more buttons. There's always a button up top, which is going to have a whole bunch of stuff, and different things like this. So to go back to the energy dashboard, this will show the energy used. There's two y-axis. There's a kilowatt hour on the left and a power kilowatts on the right. And there's a legend over here, and this can be adjusted. If you want to look at the year or the week or the previous week, you can look at different things like that, and it will show you, and then you can go back to the month. Then also there's a rooftop number 7, and again, the thermostat set point is here. Now, I thought it would be locally controlled in the by the occupant, but I'll have to check on that. Maybe this allows you to override it. And this is your night setback set point. So when the unit's turned off, you know, how cold do we want it to get? Sometimes 62 is common, sometimes 65. But what this will do is just allow the unit, like on the weekend, to naturally cool down, and it will only come on. So, okay, so we've got heating enabled below 58 degrees outside, and mechanical cooling. Mechanical cooling means air conditioning, enabled above 60, and these are your, this is your minimum dampers for your ventilation. If they complain that they're stuffy and you want more fresh air, you can do that. In addition, there's two modes. There's a constant ventilation mode or call only mode, which means like in a residential furnace that'll turn on when it needs heating or cooling, otherwise it's off. But often in a commercial setting, the damper is wide open. I mean, the damper is ventilating and the fan is running all day long to provide ventilation. So we've provided both modes here. You can pick call only or constant vent and hit OK if you want to change it. It's also monitoring the power and the amperage here. And then schedule over here. So this unit is turning on at 7:30 and goes until 5 if you want to change your schedule. If they're not here on Saturday and Sunday, then you should delete this, and you would do it like, I would delete this. Delete event. You can click delete event, and because otherwise it's going to run all day Saturday and Sunday when no one's there. In addition, we have, this is for future. If you start joining the load shed program, you'll have a different schedule for this potentially time of use. Probably this will go away actually, but this doesn't do anything right now, but could be for future use. It's a fully customizable, programmable system. So, and the same thing, we've got the trend log performance. So if you want to check your stuff about how it did, for example, and you can also turn stuff off. If you only want to see the room temperature, you can turn everything else off. And you do that by just clicking on these things. And then now all we're left is the room temperature. So you can see it's running like 66 degrees. And then today it's been, you know, since this morning it's been up to 68, 69 degrees and then up to 70. So, yep, so you can check that if you're having any troubles, and you can change the time. I'm not sure what this button does, but that's okay. Let's try the rooftop button again. There we go. It just took a minute. So this is the rooftop button, and it's got a photo of your roof where you can see the, so for example, Tom, usually we do something like this when you get your system built out more, so you can say, oh, this unit over here is broken, and maybe you don't know what number it is. So this will help you know what numbers they are, and then you can click on it. Rooftop 6 doesn't work right now because that's future, but the rooftop 7 button does work, and that'll bring you over to here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna cover your initial training.